Going to see now, Beis Hashem Yisbarach, Meseches Horayoth, Daf Vav Amud Aleph. We're following the Dafim of the Ois V'Hoder. Rabbi Yochanan and Boye. Rabbi Yochanan asked a question. Tzibur Shemeis Echad, Ma'u Sheyavu Tachtov. If one of the people died, if you know that the carbon is for the tzibur, for the people that did the sin, so the halacha is chatas shemeisu baleo, then it's not, you cannot bring it anymore. So let's say while they did the sin, there was 1,000 people, and now there's only, from the people that did the sin, only 999. One of them died already. Hasiv, and they asked him, Haksiv aboam b'shvi, we see that the Yidden came back from Galus Bavel, they bought a carbon for Avodah Zarah, and it was actually a chatos, not a oila, because it says there that it was not eaten, it was burnt, so it must be a chatos for Avodah Zarah. They bought it because they wanted to atone for the sin of Avodah Zarah that they did in Beis HaMikdash, in the first temple. They worshipped idols. So we see, for sure, some people died. We see that they can still bring it. This wasn't an ordinary psak, that only this specific time they did it. Okay, now Rabbi Yirmiyah Lamat Kain. Rabbi Yirmiyah says like this. Paraton, we're going back to what we discussed before. There's a drasha that says, by the par, Besamchu ziknei eidas yideim al roish par, aparachatz. It's in Parshas Vayikra, Kapitel Dalet, Besamchu ziknei eidas yideim al roish par, ufnei Hashem. So Rabbi Yirmiyah says, Paraton smicha bezkeinem, ein sir v'dzar tmicha smicha bezkeinem, ela b'mi. Rabbi Yirmiyah savar meimer bahar nevanov. So we had before that the Bachalek is Rabbi Yehuda and Rabbi Shimon. And Rabbi Yehuda said that they totally don't need. Rabbi Shimon says no. It's only Zekanim, but they still need smicha. Even the Sar, the goat of Avodah Zarah, also requires smicha, not with the Zekanim. So what with whom? Who has to make the smicha by Avodah Zarah? So Rabbi Yirmiyah was thought that the answer is Aharon. So by Avodah Zarah, we say Aharon has to do it. That's what, according to Reb Shimon, right? Reb Shimon is the one that says that still requires smicha. So who does it? Aharon Nevanah. Rabbi Yosef Lamat Kain. Rabbi Yasser said like this. This is Rabbi Yosef. This is Rabbi Yasser. This is the Amor Rabbi Yasser. He says no. Chayaton smicha b'Aharon. Ein siyah v'zet tzich me'Aharon. It says. That's in Parshas Acharei. So we see from that other Seirim do not require smicha by Aharon. So how can he say that Sarah by the Zara requires smicha by Aharon? That's how he interprets Reb Shimon. That Shittas Reb Shimon is that Seira with the Zara requires smicha by Aharon. Cannot be. We see somewhere else that the only thing that requires smicha by Aharon is the Sar of Yom Kippur. So because of the Kohen had. So Rabbi Yirmiyah changed his mind, and he said the right way to interpret this drasha from Rabbi Shimon is par ton smicha bezkenim. Seira with the Zara do not require smicha bezkenim. Ella, not Aharon. Kohen had yet. This is the final solution of this drush, according to Reb Shimon. Okay, now we go to the next Gemara. Reb Zeira Betoner Reb Chia Besamach Besamchu the Rabbis Sia Vaydzal Smicha V'Loi Bezkenim. It says Besamach Besamchu Ziknei, he says v'samchu to say another case also was Canaan. So who says this drash? Rabbi Zeira answers this goes according to Reb Meir, that he says that it's a choivus under the kanim, on the basin to bring. So we have here a few shmahalchim on the Sarva de Zara. According to one shmahalach, Reb Meir says that there's a kanim do it. The other shita is Reb Shimon says that a kohen hedyot does it. That's the drasha that only here we say zakanim, somewhere else it's kehanim, and we explained it means kohen hedyot. And the third shita is Rabbi Yehuda. It says totally does not require smicha. It's totally exempt from smicha. He says only paraton smicha, ve'in sor ton smicha. Tony Taman. Hoyre bezen v'osva kol. Meis echad mi bezen peturim. Echad man atzibur chayav. So if you learn that the obligation is upon the basin, so that if the basin dies, it's potter. If according to the Rameir, the tzibur, it's irrelevant because the choiv of the carbon is on the court, not on the public. Even so, if somebody dies from the public, we still bring the carbon, and it's not considered a chatos shemeisu baleh. Hoyer Beisen v'ostu, Rameir poit v'chom mechayv. If Beisen themselves did it, and they gave erroneous ruling, and they themselves followed it. Rameir says they still bring a par. For sure. Oh, so Rameir says poiter that they do not need to bring a carbon. Interesting kalvachimer, and very interesting. If they have a power to make somebody else exempt, for sure they can make themselves exempt. It's an interesting logic, but that's what Meir says. Beis said a psak, and they themselves followed it. They do not bring a carbon. No, it's logic is the opposite way. Other people are erroneous. They're forced to do it. They didn't know any better, but you should have known better. So the Chacham say, if the Beis gave an erroneous psak, a ruling, and they themselves follow this erroneous ruling, they should actually bring a carbon. They follow the erroneous ruling, and they should bring a carbon like a yochid, chayav on the bezim kizba, like any individual that did something wrong. Rabbi Zeira said in the name of Reb Chizda, Tana Taman, Hoyre Beisen v'yadu mahiru. It's an interesting case here. If the court gave an erroneous instruction, v'yadu mahiru. This is a very, very interesting Yerushalmi here. The wording needs explanation. He's saying in the case that the Beis gave a psak, they do not know what they said. They do not remember what. They don't know what in which particular halacha they erred. So it sounds very abstract. Tohu mahiru, shagu mahiru. It's the same thing. They made some kind of error in a certain psak, but they don't know. They made a mistake, but they don't know on which they made a mistake. Let's assume, I'm just trying to make this more concrete, they gave a psak on certain two isurim, you're allowed to eat chaylev and you're allowed to eat this. And then they figured out that it's impossible that both of these rulings should be true. So they know for sure they made a mistake. According to the laws of the drashas, of the psukim, of how you interpret things, these two things cannot go together. So they know for sure they made a mistake, but they don't know which one is the error, A or B. It's not enough that you know that he did a sin. You have to know exactly what. So Rabbi Shua is the one that says in creases that you have to know which sin you did. A person did something, he doesn't know if he ate chaylev or dam. It's a similar story. He doesn't know he ate something, if he got already what. He ate something be'isr, he doesn't know what he ate. So the Gemara says in creases that it's not enough. You have to know exactly what. So the Gemara says no. Even the other Tana can agree that here it's a problem, because here it can be a case they don't know im avodah zar im sha'ar mitzvahs. Im avodah zar b'par im sha'ar mitzvahs b'sar. Sofik par b'sar shinu carbon evil potter. So what's the case? They gave a psak on a certain thing that's not a problem. It's not considered avodah zara. It's not considered idol worshipping. And they also gave a psak that you're allowed to eat a certain fat. And let's assume that these two things are contradictory. For some logical inherent thing, it cannot be A and B together. So they don't know if the error was regarding the avodah zara worship or the error was regarding the chaylev. This is a case where we say that they cannot bring anything, because if the error was an avodah zara, they have to bring a sar, a goat. If the error was regarding the chaylev, they have to bring a bullock. So then everybody agrees that you cannot do anything about it, and there is no carbon for the basin. We'll start just a drop from the first Mishnah. It's still Davov, so we'll continue a little bit the second pair. Maybe a par. Mishnah uses the same language like we use by Bezdin. So the Mishnah copies that same language, and we have to fit it into the situation. So the first case means very simple. He didn't know, he made a mistake, he erred in a certain halacha, and he followed his erroneous ruling. Shoyig was amazed. But when he carried it out, he knew already that he made a mistake. Or amazed, when he made the psak, he knew that this is totally false, but he said it anyway. And then, when he came to do it, he was a shoygig. So, it could mean that when he did it, then he thought that maybe he did say a true pshat. He changed his mind, maybe. Then all these cases is potter. The only way that a kohen mashiach, a kohen gadol, is going to be obligated to bring a bullock, is only tantamount to an erroneous decision of a court for the entire community, and that is only if the psak, the ruling, was inadvertently, and the carrying out was also inadvertently. Nefesh. So now we're going to go to the pasuk in Vayikra that talks about the Kohen Mashiach. It starts in kapitel in chapter 4, Vayikra. Nefesh kisechto b'shgogo mikoil mitzvahs Hashem asher lo yisayasenu v'ochs mehin ima Kohen Mashiach yechato la'ashmasu om. Nefesh ima Kohen Mashiach k'yochet. It says Nefesh im Kohen Mashiach. So what does it mean? Ma yochedim ochel b'rois bezdin potter avzem ochel b'rois bezdin potter. It comes to teach you that if, let's assume that this Kohen did it not with he did it because he followed the Beis ruling, then he's exempt. Because he didn't do it on his own ruling. He did it in the account of the Beis ruling. Just an individual, if he ate something in the instruction of a court, is exempt. So this one, if he ate something in the instruction of his court, he is exempt. If a Kohen Mashiach followed the court's ruling, he is exempt. Okay, well, this is the end of this daf, of this Amud, daf Vav, Amud Aleph.